Hey everybody, I'm Kathy from Applique Corner. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to have a lot of fun coloring in some of Applique Corner sketch designs using fabric markers. In today's design, we're going to be using Copic markers. Okay, today we're going to color in the strawberry sketch design. This design is a free design from Applique Corner, and you can find this design for free listed on the Applique Corner Facebook Fanatics group page. If you have not joined that page, just visit the Facebook page Applique Corner Fanatics, ask to join, and we will add you as a member. You can go to the top right corner of the page and there's a files section. There are all sorts of free files there. I try to list a free design, whether it be an applique or embroidery. Recently some sketch designs for free every week or so. So be sure to check the files section for all those free designs you can download. We're using the Copic markers, and I'm going to start with the yellow, which is Y13, and I like to use the brush tip or the sketch tip. When you're coloring in the sketch designs using the Copic markers, you always want to start with the lightest color first. And in this case, I want the seeds of the strawberry yellow. So I will color those in. And because this is such a tiny, tiny space in these seeds, I'm just going to use one color. Okay, there we go. Last one. Now we're going to move on to the light green. I'm going to give the yellow spaces time to dry just a little bit. And the greens that I have chosen are G02, G05, and G09. And remember, when we're using the Copic markers, you always want to pick several shades, either 2 or 3 shades, or sometimes 4 shades, in the same color family, which is G in this case, the same blending group, which is the first number. All of these have a 0, and you want to go a couple of digits down and a couple of digits up. So this one's 02, 05, 09. We're going to start with the lightest. We're going to color the center of each of the leaves. This would be where a highlight would hit, where the sunlight would be shining, or a light source for that matter. Don't want to forget the stem. I'm going to move to the middle shade of green, which is G05. I'm going to go right around the lighter shade, the first green that we colored with. And when you're coloring with the Copic markers, at first when you touch the fabric or the cardstock or paper that you might be using, you can see the strokes. But if you'll give the ink just a minute to do its thing, to work a little bit, it will blend very nicely. A little bit more color on each one. Now we're going to go to the darkest or brightest shade of green, G09. My markers are fairly new, so they're filled with ink. And I'm not pressing down too terribly hard, but I am pressing a little bit. And I'm giving that ink some room to work, meaning I'm not going quite to the edge. I'm going to give it a second and see if it travels any. And also give it a minute to dry. If you stick to the same color family, the same letter, and the same blending group, that first number on each marker, the colors just blend beautifully. They look very pretty next to one another. Sometimes you pick out colors and you put them together and they don't look so great. And thankfully, the Applique company has taken all the guesswork out of it for us. They've done all the thinking for us and the hard work. So if you stick to that numbering system or secret code, you know you're going to have a great outcome each time. Okay? Now we're ready to move on to the reds. Now for the reds of the strawberry, I've chosen R22, R24, and R29. Again, each one of the markers has an R from the red family, and each marker has the first number as a 2 for the same blending group, and I've just skipped from 2 to 4 to 9. We are going to start with the lightest. And you want to put the lightest shade where the berry might have some highlight. If the strawberry was in the field, the sun would be shining on it. And it would have a little reflection. Highlights and shading in anything that you're painting or coloring, because that gives it a little more realistic effect. And that's the effect that we're going after today, but you don't always have to be concerned with that. If you want to sit your children or grandchildren down coloring, they can certainly color and not even worry about it. They can color in a solid color. They could press down as hard or as lightly as they would like. Each item you do is going to be very individualized. Okay, that's the lightest. I'm going to set it aside and move to the medium shade, which is R24. In some areas, I'm going to come right on top. I'm going to overlap that lighter color. See what we end up with in a little bit. I can also mention these markers. They're a lot of fun to use on fabric, but they also work very well for cardstock if you want to invest in these markers and make your own birthday invitations or thank you cards or baby announcements or Christmas cards, and get into stamping or inking. These are the markers that you would choose for such a project. I happen to like the sketch markers. This particular kind has a brush tip, and this is called a nub, and you can replace these. And then the other end is a chisel tip. I don't use that quite as much. I tend to like the brush or sketch tip, I guess from all my years of painting. But you can replace those nubs as needed, and you can also refill these markers. So they may be a little bit more of an investment on the front end, but knowing that you can keep these markers for a very, very long time and just refill them with ink, it's a big savings in the long run. Okay, I'm going to place the medium red to the side and grab the darker red, which is R29. We don't so much go by the names of these markers. I'm going to stick to the numbers and make sure that they're all matching in the color family and the blending group. But this happens to be lipstick red. I think that's appropriate for bright red strawberry. Our family tries to pick strawberries every year, tries to find a strawberry farm, and we try to make strawberry preserves. So I have stitched this design on a flour sack towel, which I plan to use in the kitchen. Might even stitch this design on an apron for my daughter and for myself. And she can color hers, and maybe I can color mine, or she can color mine as well. So when we make preserves, we can wear them. These sketch designs, they stitch out in just a matter of minutes. Some of them stitch out as quickly as 4, 5, or 6 minutes. And as you can see, they only take a few minutes to color in. It's a fun little project to do by yourself. Great stress relief, but it's also a great project to do with children. Keep blending sparkle red. A little bit closer to the edge. Here I'm going to put some dark right up under these leaves. You want to put your darker color where a shadow would be. There would definitely be a shadow under the leaves. Some people like to color with these markers in circles like this. I prefer to do it that way if I'm on paper or cardstock. But on fabric, I like a smaller just brush strokes, as if I had a paintbrush in my hands. But you can find whatever works best for you. If you'd like to learn more about the markers themselves, tips and techniques, be sure to check out our other videos on YouTube. Applique Corner has a video entitled Understanding Copic Markers, and it gives you a lot of great information on the markers themselves and tips and techniques. Okay, I've gotten a lot of color on there now. Now I think I'm going to go back to the lightest to blend this center color. Okay. And then I'll also revisit the medium, which was R24, and these edges just a little bit. Just softens those edges back up. To blend the data. Okay. And I'm very happy with the way that looks, so I'm going to stop there and call it done. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, thank you for joining me today. Be sure to visit Applique Corner at www.appliquecorner.com, our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Applique Corner, and also join our Applique Corner Fanatics group page on Facebook. Thanks again. Bye-bye.